Welcome back to Inspired Dishes. Today I will make a version of Wingstop mango habanero chicken sandwich. Habanero, I'm coughing. When I took this out the refrigerator, I didn't really smell that, but like about 5 minutes of leaving it on this counter, I'm like, is it me or I'm smelling something spicy? And I think I'm feeling some type of heat somewhere. When you make it yourself, you can make it as sweet and spicy as you want to. Of course, you're gonna need mangoes. I only got one, however, it's just so messy, but I did want the sweetness from the juice. The rest is gonna actually be from frozen mangoes. Inside of my sauce, I will be using a little bit of the garlic and just a teensy bit of salt because I will be seasoning my chicken with chicken powder, as well as a little bit of I will be using a little bit of apple cider vinegar for my sauce as well. In order to sweeten it, I will be using some brown sugar, of sliced onions as well as sliced green onions. Now for my chicken, I'm gonna pretty much use buttermilk. I had buttermilk and I didn't want it to go to waste. So let my meat marinate in that. I'm gonna add some flour. I'm gonna show you. Now as for my meat, I have chicken thighs. Now usually you can use chicken breast, the boneless. However, I had only these, and also too, I actually like these better. The only thing I don't like about it, you gotta clean it. So I have that pretty much soak it in water and apple cider vinegar. However, you gotta clean all this fat and stuff. That's why I pretty much get irritated. Just wanna get your knife and cut all this fat part off. You can use your hand too. You don't have to like pat it or anything because I'm gonna marinate it. Yeah, as long as you just take the water out of it, just gonna season it with my brioche seasoning and my chicken powder, just a little bit. And I thought at the last minute I'm gonna season it with a little bit of my brown sugar because I'm gonna put a little bit of brown sugar in the sauce anyway. So why not? That's like really a sprinkle. Notice I didn't put that much at all. I know some people say we're gonna season both sides. However, if you put enough seasoning on one side, you know how I'm doing, and it can cover the other side as well. You see how I ain't put no seasoning on the back side, and look how it's seasoned already. Good. But as long as you put enough seasoning on the front side, you can just rub it on. If you want to do it on the back side, you can. And make sure too, see how not just the skin, but the actual, meat part of it too, because some people like to just season the skin. It's like, okay, yeah, after the skin it's like flavored up. Okay, what about this part? You eating everything, you're not just eating the skin. This ain't just pork skins, you feel me? And I know some people like to season their flour as well. Like sometimes they might season their food like their meat, but like just season their flour. Like me, I'm soaking my meat for some few hours. And it's like, I know they're going to be like, but isn't some seasoning going to come off, especially if you're marinating it? It's not going to come off at all. And I'm not going to season my flour. I'm going to show you when I cook it and everything. And I'm going to let you know when I do a test taste, they're still going to be seasoned and flavorful. If you still want to season your flour, you can go ahead. And before I cook it, I'm also going to put it back out the refrigerator and put it on the counter for at least 30 minutes. Okay, now we're going to make this sauce. I'm going to put a little bit of the frozen mangoes in there. Let's get into this habanero pepper. I got one, I got it on the other way. But mainly with the one I'm going to be holding, touch it, I got my glove. Not half, but just a little bit of it. If you like all that spice and everything, go right ahead then. You see this little bit? Yeah, this is all I'm going to use. When I tell you this thing got you coughing, you ain't even got to eat it yet and it's going to have you coughing. But yeah, that's why they say it's the hottest. But oh yeah, I'm just going to be using this and I'm going to cut this up still. Now I'm just going to add that in the blender as well. Put that in there. Now I'm going to add in my brown sugar, a little bit of my garlic paste, probably like a teaspoon. Add in my combination of onions. Okay, now my other mango. Put this in the blender as well. I got the skin off of it. Now I'm going to try to cut around it because it's a seed in the middle. I actually like this kind of seasoning a little bit because actually the mangoes, if you have a mango tree or someone that have a mango tree, the mangoes are actually growing. I'm like, I see so many people with mango trees. Like if I had a mango tree, it's funny, I don't really get mangoes in the store unless I'm doing like a recipe. But if I see it growing outside on a tree, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so in love. It's just like with anything natural. When I see flowers going outside on the tree, it's like, oh my goodness, so beautiful. But if I see a flower inside the store, it's like, oh, okay, it's pretty. It could be the exact same flower, it could be the exact same beauty, but it's like, it's something about nature. Things go on its own. A little bit capful, probably like 2 capfuls. I'm gonna add the apple cider vinegar. It's 1 cap. It's 2 capfuls. And I'm gonna add in like a pinch of salt. I don't want to overdo it because chicken is already seasoned. You don't want to make it too salty or anything. Taste a little bit. It's good salt, so I'm trying to see if I taste a little bit of that heat. Because y'all know I didn't put that much heat, so I ain't tasting the heat really as much. Okay, now I added the sauce to a pan. I'm gonna warm it up, and I'm gonna add a little bit of vegetable oil. It's peanut oil, but just any type of vegetable oil or something. You probably don't need it. A non-stick pan. However, I still just want to be sure so it don't scorch. So just make sure you watch it too, so you know it don't scorch the bottom, and make sure you stir it. And I just wanted to warm the sauce up. Now, as I was saying, it wasn't as spicy enough for me, so I'm going to be adding pepper flakes. I could have added more of my habanero, but I didn't want to grind it up, especially with the, you know, the mixture already smooth, so I just added pepper flakes. And it made it a little bit more spicier, not too much. But now we're going to turn it down on low heat and then get started with our chicken. I had the chicken rested out on the counter for about 30 minutes prior to, and yeah, it's covered in that buttermilk. It smells so good, y'all. And I'm pretty much just gonna coat it in the flour. That's self-rising flour, but you can use all purpose. It's just the one I had. It really doesn't matter. Okay, now I have a pan with peanut oil, and I pretty much have that on medium high, and I had that on the stove for about 5 minutes. Now, usually some people use thermometers to tell if it's hot. However, back in the old days, we didn't do all that. All you gotta do is sprinkle a teensy bit. See how I'm doing? A flour. I don't know if you can see, but if it sizzle up a little bit, you see them bubbles? That's how you know it's hot. Now, if you put your flour and it just sink down and it don't sizzle, then it's not hot enough. So yeah, the old school way, y'all. Now, about after 5 minutes, I flipped it over. I must have flipped it over at least about 5 or 6 times in the process. Now, you got to be very careful with the chicken thighs. However, if you making chicken wings or chicken drums, it don't take long at all to cook. But with those chicken thighs, they can look brown and crispy, and I will show you. However, if you look in the middle of it, it'll fool you. It'll be bleeding. You feel me? Okay, so I'm just going to keep repeating this process of flipping it over every about 2 to 3 minutes. But I will show you, like, it's going to look crispy and brown, but it's not going to be ready. And I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to find out. Okay, I was just about to get ready to take it out the pan, and yeah, I'm seeing how I'm doing. A little taste test I had to try because, like, yeah, it fooled me a little bit. But yeah. If you want to try it, instead of using a thermometer, use it the old school way. Just use a knife and see how I'm just poking a hole through it. Believe me, if it's not ready, it's going to pretty much bleed out, red liquid. And that's how you know it's not ready. Now, if you see it bleed out clear liquid, of course, it's just the juices. You don't want to overdo it because you don't want to let all your juices leak out and have dry chicken. Nobody will want that. But yeah, just poke a hole in a few of them, and like I said, if it leaks out, you know, and sit it on a rack. Most people, even me in the past, just used to put it on paper towel to blot out the grease. However, if you want to stay crispy and not soggy, which you put it on paper towel, it will cause it. Don't put it on that. Put it on a rack instead. Now I'm going to take the chicken and I sat it inside of the sauce, and I'm pretty much just going to move it around so the sauce can get incorporated. Okay, now I have my brioche bun, and I pretty much just toasted it. I also had some spirit pickles, and I pretty much just cut the back of it off. It still was a little big. You supposed to have the little flat circular ones. And now I'm going to put on my pickles and just top it off again with my bread. Well, I got the sandwich on backwards. I guess the pickle's gonna be at the bottom. Yes, y'all, yes. Now, I'm just using this as a garnish, but yeah, I'm gonna take this off. I just hope it don't mess up the plate and make it too spicy because I don't did that. But yeah, I'm ready to eat, y'all. Don't see me make it, now it's time to see me eat it. I wanted to try this in a lot of different restaurants, the habanero mango, because I'm like, I know mangoes is, you know, sweet and stuff, and they're just a teaspoon of spice, but they let me know that, yeah, that is like one of the hottest on the menu, and I don't like it too spicy, so I never got it. But I seen a review again, I think his name is the Endorsement, and I'm like, dang, this looks so good. But he also explained that the sandwich was really, really, really hot. And I'm like, okay, I want to make my own version, but I don't got to make it as spicy I can, like, you know. So I pretty much did my own version. Now, I did put like a teensy bit of habanero because I didn't want to risk it being too hot, but it wasn't as spicy for me, so I just put the pepper flakes. So it's just a little bit, you know, and enough talking, time to eat now. It's good. This is good. Just enough for sweetness. Also, you taste a little bit of that heat. Not much, because like I told you, I don't like it too overbearing, but you still can taste a little bit of heat. It's so good, y'all. By me adding in the pepper flakes, added a little bit, level up of the heat. It's so good. It's not too sweet where it's like, I don't know if I want to taste sweetness on my chicken. It's good. It's seasoned good. You taste the seasoning on the chicken, as well as by me putting like the teensy bit of salt inside of the sauce. You know, the apple cider vinegar. Teensy bit, I got a little bit on my hand, but it's I got napkins. Brioche bun is soft, good. You know, I toasted it and it's soft. This sandwich is good. This type of meat be tender a lot. That's why I prefer over the boneless. The chicken still got its crisp to it. I know some of y'all wonder, like, is it still crisp because of the sauce, and it still got its crisp to it. I didn't really taste it as much with the pickles. Let me try to see if I can get it. It's a good combination with the pickles. Now the sandwich is like coming apart a teensy bit. Maybe because I put too much sauce. You know how I do. But yeah, this sandwich is so good, y'all. Can't rate it because you know what it is when I don't rate it. I still would give it a rating. Even with the sandwich now, you know, I still would give it a rating. Ingredients and everything, people season their flour because they don't want the taste to come off and different things. And you know, I did have it marinated. The seasoning did not come off at all. And ever since I like floured it, and you know, with my flour, I don't put no seasoning or anything. I flour and everything. I can say it still tastes seasoned. And I'm not just saying that. It's not that the sweetness, the sauce is overtaking it. You just taste the sweetness. No, you guys should taste the seasoning. Please make sure you go try this recipe. It's so simple. Like I said in a lot of videos, it's so simple. Even the caveman can do it. Try, y'all. That's what I wanted to mention. Also, be careful with the chicken thighs, because you see how crispy and brown look. You're like, yeah, that gotta be done. I did that in the past a couple of times before I even like ate it. The blood started leaking out of it. So I'm like, is that blood? Is that? Be very careful. It's deceiving. What it reminds me of the scripture in the Bible. You know, I gotta make it about it. The devil presents himself as an angel of light. That means he's deceiving people to pretty much make it seem like they are who they say they are. But again, now I'm gonna say, for instance, with a lot of people, when you first get in a relationship, it's like the best thing to like, wow, this person is my true soulmate. Like, you feel like you're gonna spend a lifetime with them, and they seem like they're doing everything for you, rubbing your back, rubbing your feet, doing stuff out of the ordinary, taking you this and that place. And it's like, once they get comfortable with you, once they see like, okay, yeah, I don't got my way in, it's like, who is this person? Like, they stop doing stuff for you. It's like, you can ask them, oh, could you just pick this up the floor for me? Right next to them. It's like, man, get it yourself. They get on aggravating and stuff, and it's like, where's that same energy you had when I first got with you? Presenting themselves as an angel of light. Now, I explained it on my other channel about that more in detail. So yeah, I'm not gonna get into that right now, but that's pretty much, that's because you're not putting God in your relationship, meaning you're not dealing with relationships the godly way. If you want to know more about that, you know, check out my other channel. presenting themselves as an angel of light. See how crispy brown her chicken looked good? Yeah, you won't actually know when you take it out the grease. It's just like when I tried to take it out the grease earlier. I seen like something like leaking out of it that was red. I'm like, oh, this ain't ready yet. So yeah, I know a lot of people use thermometers and different things like that, but in the past, we didn't have thermometers. Like we did it the old school way. A lot of people got knives. Get your knife and just poke through it, and believe me, you'll see if blood running out of it. Now don't overdo it to the point you poke it everywhere, and then all the liquid juices don't fall out, and then you got dry chicken. You feel me? Like, don't overdo it, yeah. Just poke little holes in it enough to where it seeps like in the middle, and then let it go. And if you still see like liquid, or like as far as like red blood leaking out of it, because you're gonna see liquid because it's moist. However, if you see red liquid, then yeah, that ain't done. So be careful with that chicken. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say regarding y'all. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel, y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.